Listening to 91.7 KPSU, Goodwill, Oklahoma, the Tie Fly and the Doug Bug Show. Without Daddy Dave, apparently the tube is broken still, so...
If he doesn't come, we can't do a full 2 hours.
Yeah, we're going to have to cut the show short. Alright, we'll talk about the NHL right now and go through the standings. Any surprise at the number one team in the Eastern Conference? No. They've only won 12 games straight, Washington Capitals.
I mean, that right there is 24 points. They were, like, New Jersey was number one before this win streak. Not anymore.
New Jersey sits at number 2, Buffalo number 3. Pittsburgh sits at 4th.
But Pittsburgh's real close to being second. I mean, 1 game lead.
Well, let's see. Yeah, they would have to go ahead and jump New Jersey and Buffalo, and, eventually that would put them up there.
But if New Jersey just a 1 game lead in the Atlantic part of the Eastern Conference standings.
Ottawa sits at 5, Montreal 6, Philadelphia at 7, Tampa Bay at 8, and Florida and the New York Rangers are 2 points behind at 9 and 10. Atlanta at 11, and it looks like Atlanta's not going to make much of a playoff push now that they got rid of their captain.
Well, then you got Boston, you got New York Islanders, Toronto, and Carolina. Basically, once you hit Montreal, it drops. I mean, the top 5 teams, 70-plus points from their wins and overtime losses. Once you hit Montreal, all the way down to Carolina, 60 points or less. So,
moving into the Western Conference, which I am super excited about, actually.
More competitive conference.
Number 1, San Jose, who has a 5-point lead.
They were had the best overall record in the regular season until this one streak by Washington. So
Chicago sits at number 2. That's going to be a real tough team come playoff time. Vancouver at 3, but only because they are leading the Northwest Conference.
Technically, they would be 5th, but they basically almost clinched the conference.
2 teams out of the Pacific, though, come up in 4th and 5th. Tied at points, Los Angeles holds the tiebreaker over Phoenix. Who would expect Phoenix to be up here at this point in the season?
It must be their defense must be better, because they can score, but now their goalie's not allowing as many goals. That helps.
Well, and it kind of hurts, though, that Upshaw is out for the rest of the season.
But they can still make it. They got Todd Merchant and all those guys.
Colorado at 6, Nashville at 7, Calgary clinching the last playoff spot over Detroit.
Because of the tiebreaker.
And so the past 2 years, Western Conference Championship team, Detroit would not even make the playoffs if it ended today.
Their goalie is having a bad year.
And the next 2 teams are pretty bad too. Dallas and Anaheim both would miss out on the playoffs.
Anaheim's a bigger shock.
Dallas has been in the playoffs for so many straight years.
So has Anaheim. You gotta go for the Ducks.
Minnesota at 12, St. Louis, Columbus, and Edmonton ends out the rest of the conference. Those teams, you're not really shocked. After 12, you kind of expect that.
But, in Anaheim and Detroit, we would expect to be in the top 8.
You really wouldn't expect Los Angeles and Phoenix to be at 4 and 5 either.
If Phoenix was to make the playoff, I would probably told you they'd been in the 8th seed if I was going to predict. Or 7th, at best.
Well, they're not going to get anything better than 4, though, because they're 10 points behind San Jose. San Jose is probably going to run out through the Western Conference.
They need the 4 seed. Yeah.
There is a really big game coming up tonight as Phoenix travels to Chicago. That'll be a big game. And then, of course, Sunday, one of the most popular games, Sidney Crosby versus Alex Ovechkin.
I bet Washington wins that.
And that just totally sets up for, Friday when we start playing in the Olympics.
That's going to be a classic rivalry game.
Exactly. Well, that just about wraps up our sports talk show.
Well, we can't do picks to make it last longer, which takes forever almost, it seems like.
So, any last words?
No.
We'd like to thank, of course, our broadcasting stuff here at KPSU. We'd like to thank, of course,
Cordell and Season for running the camera.
Exactly. And, of course, of Professor Guthrie for giving us this opportunity to come on air.
I also would like to thank my doctor for making it possible for me to be here.
Yeah, so, because on Monday you looked like you had the chicken pox. But next week, Thursday, we have the home games here at Oscar William Fieldhouse, which will bring on 91.7 KPSU. I believe those games are against Arkansas Fort Smith.
Yeah, conference but non-conference game.
And then Saturday's games, the women's play Johnson and Wales at 2 o'clock, and the men will play Dallas Baptist. So make sure and tune in to those games.
These important games for the season.
Check us on our video, which you're going to post here in a few minutes on YouTube. And also our Facebook page where, if you're listening to us and you think what we're talking about is just complete BS, you can chat with us on Facebook.
And tell us how to improve.
And open up new topics. I try to get a lot of topics in there.
But no one's replying.
I know. You got to have some people reply.
I mean, I would reply to you, but just go back and forth all day. And no one else would join and get their opinion. Exactly.
So we want to hear your opinions. We want to get your info. So check us out on Facebook. Check us out on YouTube. We're not going to be on Twitter, though.
No.
We're not tweeting. So that is the end of our show, and we'll see you next Friday at 12 to 2.
Hopefully no tuba's broken.
We'll see you then.